All right, let's look at what we call home loans. How do we calculate home loans? Now, if you're to calculate home loans, we shall need, what I want you to understand is that, first and foremost, we shall need what we call the loan amount. How much are you going to take for loan? So how do we get the loan amount? It will be the cash amount of money. We subtract the deposit if there is any. If there is nothing, then you take the whole amount of loan. Then, this is number one. The number two, we need to look what we call the monthly repayment. We need to look for monthly repayment, which is got from the home loan divided by 1,000 times the factor that we shall get from the given table. For this case here, we have the factor here. These are the factors. These are the factors. These are the number of years the loan will take, and these are the interest rates. Interest rates. Okay, a combination of the years and the interest rate will give you the factor. Then, having got the monthly repayment, now you can easily get what we call the real cost. How much is it? This will be the monthly repayment. We multiply with the number of installments made. By the number of installments made. Then number 4, they might also ask you for the interest. How much interest was it? So the interest will come from the loan, the real cost minus, to be the real cost minus the loan amount that you took. Why don't we include interest? Sorry, why don't we include deposit? Because deposit does not carry interest. Then number 5, we can call it what we call, they might ask for the total cost. And total cost will equal to everything spent on the house. So this will be real cost. Real cost already includes interest plus deposit, then plus any other fee involved in the house or the home loan. All right, let's look at our question that we're going to be looking at today. So, table 1 below, which is this. This is the table 1 that we are looking at below. Table 1 below is a loan factor table that shows the monthly repayments per 1,000 Rand on a home loan with interest rates ranging from 9.75 to 11.25% per annum. These are the interest rates over a period of 15 years, 20 years, 25, or 30 years. So someone called Nabi is planning on buying a house, which is a home, and she has a disposable income of 18,570 per month. The National Credit Act, the NCA, states that the home loan amount that a person qualifies for should be calculated based on their disposable income. Disposable income simply means the amount of money one remains with after the expenses, after the deduction. Otherwise, it could be the same as net income. All right. Then here we go. The question asks us, define the term monthly repayments in this context. So now the monthly repayment, we shall say the monthly repayment is the amount paid back every month every month on a given loan. All you want to know, paid back or repaid every month. That's why it gets what? Monthly, paid back. That's why it's a repayment. You are paying back the money that you took before. All right. And this includes interest, but it's amount of money paid every month on a given loan. All right. Write down the loan factor that will be used in calculations if this person here decides to pay a monthly repayments over a period of 25 years period at an interest rate of 10. Remember, I told you the factor is determined by the number of years and the interest rate. So now the number of years at 25. Here we are. Then the interest is 10,75. 10,75. It's this one here. So where do they meet? So where they meet, it's what we write. So in this case, it's the answer there, it's 9,62. This is the factor. All right. I'm just giving an example. If someone said 15 years and an interest of 11%, this could mean it's this. 11% is this. So the factor would be 11,37. This is the factor. If someone said that. All right. All right, let's look at this question here. Probably this one's for marks. The first one are just 2 marks each. All right, question number 3.3. Calculate the real cost. We are going to calculate the real cost of the house with a given information below. Make use of the factor table, this one here. The information given below, we can use this and this, the loan information. All right, the information needed. Then the factor table, I've already showed it to you. The values needed. You may use the following formula to guide you in your calculations. Our main aim is real cost. Our main aim is the real cost. This is the main aim here. Main aim is real cost. So let's start. Now remember, if you are to get the real cost, we need to know the monthly. We need to know the monthly repayment. That's the first thing we're going to do, because it's going to be monthly repayment. Monthly repayment times the number of what? Installments. Okay. Now, how do we get the monthly repayment? We shall get the monthly repayment by using the formula already given to us there. And by the way, we need to know. First and foremost, we shall look for the loan amount, which will be the house price minus the deposit. Does it have any deposit? Yes. How much is it? It's 8%. So we shall look for the 8%, which is 0.08, times the money for the house, which is 1,599,000. So we are looking for the deposit. You will do this. The deposit person has to pay, it's 127,920. I'm not interested in the deposit. I'm interested in the loan amount. So the loan amount will equal to the 1,599,000 minus the deposit, which will give you 1,471,080 rands. So here we've got our so the next thing is to look for the monthly repayment. I'll call them MR. MR will equal to the money that he has got as the loan amount after the deposit, we divide this by 1,000 times the factor. Remember, the interest rate is going to be prime plus 2%. And our prime, they're saying let it be 9. So the interest rate is 9 plus 2, which is 11%. The number of years is 20 years. 20 years. So 20 years here, and 11%. What's the factor? It's 10.32. So we shall divide this by 1,000 and we multiply by 10.32. The monthly will be 15,181.55. So this is the monthly repayment. We are not interested in the monthly repayment. We are interested in real cost. We are interested in the real cost. So what shall we do? The real cost, we shall say, our real cost now, the real cost will equal to the monthly repayment times the number of installments. So what we do, the monthly repayment is 15,181 rands 55 cents times. So in 20 years, how to get the number of installments? Remember, it's 20 years, but each year has 12 installments because it's monthly repayment. So we shall multiply this number by 240. So we end up paying, or he will end up paying 30,643,575 rands, and he will have 94 cents. So this is the real cost. This is the real cost. Let's see how it's marked. First and foremost, you looked for the deposit. On top of that, you looked for the loan amount. Number two, you came and you substituted into, you looked for the monthly repayment. You got the loan amount divided by 1,000. You got the right factor. You got the right answer. Then you've multiplied the number of installments here. You've got your final answer there. Very good. This is how we mark it. We mark the deposit. You got the interest. By the way, you would not get the factor if you didn't get the interest. You will not get the factor if you didn't get the interest. So this is what you had to go through to give us the answer. All right, that's question number 3.3. Let's look at question number 3.4. All right, question number 3.4. If the buyer had to pay a deposit of 15% deposit instead of 8%, what effect would this have on the real cost of the loan? Show all your calculations. So, okay, let's see what happens. So definitely you're going to start afresh. You're going to look for the new deposit, which is 0.15 times the money that is going to get, times the money that's going to get. This is 15% times 1,999,000. So the deposit is 239,850. This is the deposit. So we don't stop here. We shall look for the loan amount, which is going to be the money the guy is going to take, the cash money minus the deposit that you've just got. Which becomes 1,359,150 rands. This is now the loan amount. So what do? We look for the monthly repayment. Monthly repayment will be that much money divided by 1,000 times 10,32. Why do I say 10,32? The interest remained. The interest remained 2 plus 9, which is 11. The period is still 20 years. So we ask ourselves, what does the person get? The person has to be repaying 13,940, 10 cents. So this is the monthly. So what's the real cost? The real cost becomes that much money times 240. Where do we get the 240? It's from the 20 years times what? 12. So 240. So the person ends up paying 336,985 rands 80 cents. This is how the person is going to get the money. So what is the effect? Number one, you're going to compare or shall compare the deposits. Um, uh, when we compare it with the 8%, the deposit here is what? Then when we come and we compare it with the monthly repayment, the monthly repayment here, it's the 8%, it was that's a monthly repayment. And then when you compare it with the real cost, the 8% has 3,643,500 and what? 70. What do you see? Number one, the deposit. Let me see. You are concluding and you're saying, in your simple terms, you say, when it comes to the deposit, definitely with 15%, the deposit is what? Higher. With 8%, it's low, which is obvious, okay? Then let's compare the monthly repayments. The higher the deposit, the higher the deposit, the higher the deposit, the lower the monthly repayment. And the lower the deposit, the higher the monthly repayment. Look at that. Compare those two. So what effect is there? If you pay a bigger deposit, that means your monthly repayments will be lower. Then the real cost. Let's look at the real cost. The higher the deposit, the lower the monthly repayment and the real cost. The real cost. But the lower the deposit, the higher the monthly repayment and the higher the real cost. That's the effect that you see. Together, the higher. So that's the effect, and you shall say the real cost. What effect does the 15% have? So you shall say the real cost is lower as well as the monthly repayment. And the deposit is higher, definitely, you know it, because 15 is bigger than 18. So this is the effect that you see there. In the future, you will see that even the lower the years, the higher the monthly repayment, the lower the interest. The lower the period, the higher the monthly repayment, the lower the interest. But if the bigger the period, the loan period, the lower the monthly repayments and the higher the interest. We shall see that as we go on. Thank you very much.